Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to NerdTube, and this is the review of the end of season two of season 15, um, season two, episode six, the end of Shooting Gappers.
Not to make it confusing, thanks Disney.
Yeah. Um, so with me today is Lord Donkey, or as he's now going to be called, Lord Beams. How are you doing
Lord
today,
President of Memes.
Lord President of Beams? So
I think I'm ready to talk about this now. I wasn't ready last week.
yeah.
Um,
So just to catch everybody up, I did contact Lord Beams last week about doing this, and both of us were like taxed out of like our minds because we were both like, so
I felt like we needed to
well,
let it sit for a little bit and kind of not come at it so hot off the press, so annoyed after the episode. I feel like I've mellowed out since watching it. I don't know how you feel since taking the week to let it stew. Or you just rewatched it, didn't you?
I did just rewatch it. Right. So we're talking about the last two episodes. Well, we'll talk about the whole shooting Gatwa era in a moment. Um, I'll say what I think. I still think what I thought originally, which this is rubbish, and it's quite bad rubbish. Well, rubbish is bad anyway, but like it's quite badly written rubbish. And the thing is that it's too contrived, it's too neat around the edges. Doctor Who's never been like that. It was always like the Doctor knows he can't save everybody, and the thing is that there's tons of people who've died when the Doctor does stuff, and the thing is that he knows that he can't save everybody. That's the whole point of Doctor Who. He has to save the most
Hmm.
people ever. And like the one time that he does get to save people, like the one time that sticks out to my head is the empty shark because he gets to save everybody because it turns out that the empty
Just
shark was
this
actually
once.
so yes, but spoiler ahead, was actually like nanobots like flaming like um malfunctioning, and it's like that is that is what that that that's what, because the fact he says justice was everybody lives. It's like that
Mhm.
shows you what Doctor Who is that he wants everyone to live, but he knows realistically that can't happen. I mean, there's tons of people he could save if he wants to. Like for example, what about most of his flaming companions? Most of them are dead, or they're not
Adric.
dead, but they're like yeah, Adric flaming like people Rory and flaming
Mhm.
Amy and like flaming like there's people like stuck in time. There's people stuck flaming in basically hell.
Bill
It's like
Potts.
yeah. It's like so. What's so special about this kid? And so that annoyed me. The biggest thing that annoyed me was this whole thing of wishing. So we're going to wishes now.
Yeah.
So Doctor Who has wishes in it now. Why did you not wish for the flaming Time Lords to come back and not be sort of dickheads? That'd be a great wish. I mean, and the fact that they made Omega into a fucking skeleton just pissed me off so much. But anyway, what did you think? Go on, otherwise I'm going to go around.
The whole season, so like the last time we spoke, we had stopped at episode 6. The first 6 episodes of this season were okay. A couple of them weren't the best, but the first 6 episodes were solid. This season was going so well. Episode 7 was okay. It was setting up the finale. It um, it was fine. The finale itself just went off the deep end, and to bring back not just the Ronnie but Omega, and to take 5 minutes where we see Omega on screen and then he's gone, and they brought him back as some CGI garbage. It was just such a waste, and it's a waste. I know there's reasons behind why Shooty left when he did. He didn't want to wait around for Disney to make up their minds. Didn't want to wait around to maybe do a season 3 when he wants to, continue on and as he should go do bigger and better things in Hollywood. I don't blame him at all. He did a great job with the cards he was dealt. It's very disappointing that not just so the whole pantheon that was introduced in the 60th and was an okay thing up until this season. We had Lux with the God of Light that was good, a decent episode. It was a good use of the pantheon. They used the pantheon again in the finale here as the God of Wishes, which just wishing in one hand, crapping in the other. Really, the whole God of Wishes that they were just tapping into the God of Wishes here was just that was too much to begin with. 5 minutes with Omega just eating the latest incarnation of the Rani was dumb. It was dumb. Mrs. Flood survives. Okay, so a Ronnie survives. I guess we're done with bi generation now, but we will talk about that regeneration later. That's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem with the finale should be the regeneration into who Shooty regenerated into, but it's not, and
Well, we'll get
that's
into it in a moment.
yeah, we'll get into that. But it's so disappointing that these two big classic villains were wasted, and now they can't bring them back for a while and use them in a good way. Um, there were a couple of good parts I did like, and I really enjoyed where they brought the 13th Doctor back in and had that moment with 15 in the TARDIS. But the last 20 minutes of all the reshoots was just hot garbage for the most part. And wasting Belinda's character, um, saddling her and sidelining her in a box for half the episode, and then saddling her with, oh, she's now just not living with her friends anymore, being a. No, she's just stuck in the motherhood box now, whether she wanted to be or not. It's just, there's so many things that were wrong with this. So many things that were wrong with this episode. And it's just very disappointing that this is where we're leaving it off, and is something else happening with it? I hope not. It needs to just sit for a while, I think, but I'll stop rambling.
That's fine. I mean, I mean, I didn't get it. Like he says, Omega's been stuck in this is made into a legend. No, Omega's a guy in the flaming stupid helmet who flaming like who has these grandiose plans, right?
A
That's
stupid
bloody
looking
Omega.
helmet, yes. Where I wanted the helmet. I wanted the
Yes,
classic Omega
yes,
look.
yes. And he's a bloody
But
skeleton. I'm like, what? Why? Why is he a skeleton? Like, I'm sorry. You need more explanation than he was stuck somewhere that made him into a legend. No, you know, no, no. He was a human being that was he was a Time Lord that was stuck in
yeah,
fame. It's like bring that back. I mean, like you couldn't get a different actor to do it. I mean, like all you need to do is just put a really famous actor in a stupid costume. Job done. I'm thinking like the whole Rari. I agree with you with the whole Rari thing. I mean, like the racist one, Anita Dodson and flaming and Archie Punjabi in there. I mean, like they didn't really do much. I mean, Archie Punjabi gets to eat. Oh, thank you very much for your time, Archie. So like, so like her, and this is the problem that I have with Doctor Who at the moment. They're going through people too quickly. They're going through flaming
mm-hmm.
companions. I mean, like Millie Harley had a flaming season. I mean, she had a season in a little bit. I mean, she did two
Yeah.
episodes of S3 at a push, and she was
Ruby
supposed to
and
be.
Belinda should have lasted 3 or 4 seasons.
Yes, because
Could have.
the whole point is that there's supposed to be like two of them in the bloody TARDIS. I would have been up
Yeah,
for that.
yeah. Three
The fact
crew
the fact what
TARDIS would have been great for season
yeah,
3.
but that didn't really happen. It was just Belinda the whole time, and then Millie just came in for a couple of episodes. It's like, was she busy? Well, I know she is, but like she's probably busy. That's probably what it
Sure.
was.
Yeah. But
I mean,
it
because I know for fact she's filling Forsyth Saga. But even
Mm,
with that, they couldn't shoot around that. They couldn't just say, "Hey, we need to borrow for this." I'm sure they would have said, "Yeah," because I'm
yeah.
sure that she has said that she
Well,
enjoys her time on Doctor Who.
I know that, or at least what I've seen about behind the scenes and rumors of how the season had how the last 20 minutes had to change based on Shudi's decision to not continue and wait for a potential season 3 because he was only signed for 2 seasons, it sounds like. It's the 20 minutes of reshoots was the best that they could have done is bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
They've done specials before. The last 4 episodes for the 10th Doctor were all specials because they ended on a season with the end of time, or not, no, with what was it, the Stolen Earth, and they
yes,
the Earth, and then they ended it, and they didn't know where it was going to go from there, and they had 4 specials to tie up the 10th Doctor and bring in 11. You telling me they couldn't have ended this season how it was meant to be ended and just signed them all for one special to come out? It could have come out next year. It could have come out 2 years from now. It would have been better than
this.
this. This is just very disappointing. It's and I hate to say that because I'll say it again. The actors themselves did the best that they could. It's just so disappointing that the writing, that the direction that they went, failed them and failed the characters.
Yeah, the writing was terrible, and the thing is that I agree with what you said previously about this whole season. That the entire season has been solid. It's not been great,
It was better than the last season.
yeah, I agree with that. But there's been like some really good episodes. Like I enjoyed the Well a lot.
Hmm.
I enjoyed despite despite problems with it, I enjoyed the intergalactic song contest. I enjoyed because I enjoyed the Die Hard element. I enjoyed different aspects. I enjoyed looks for the problems I had with it. You know, there
Yeah.
were episodes that I really liked. It's just, it was just very uneven and just like sometimes the message would get in the way of. And by the way, I'm not
Yeah.
slugging off the message. I agree with the message. I'm saying you got with the storytelling, and you need to put the storytelling first, then put a message
Hmm.
next to it. And I
Yeah.
think I've said this a couple of times. And then like the end of this, where as I said, this episode, these 2 episodes were just terrible. I mean, as I said, I don't,
Yeah.
I understand where that Shooty was the lead. Okay, I understand that because he's probably got stuff in Hollywood that's probably been thrown at him. Because I mean, Doctor
Hmm.
Who's probably like raised his stature, and I know
Yeah.
he was in the Barbie film, so those two
And
things
he's been
probably
getting
raised
a lot of negativity from
racist.
sources that he shouldn't have been getting that negativity. So
Well,
I mean,
it's mainly been from racists, to be honest with you. So
yeah,
I understand.
yeah.
I understand that he doesn't want any part of that, and to be honest with you, I'm with it because like even like you signed on to do a sci-fi role where the character could be anything. It could be a woman, it could be a man, it could be black, it could be white.
Hmm.
Because the actress who plays the I can't remember what doctor it is. Is it the thing doctor? What doctor is it now? Is it the original doctor? Whatever it was. The is it Joe? What's her name? Oh, what's her name? I can't
Oh,
remember
the
the
fugitive
actress's name.
doctor, Joe Martin.
That is the one. Yeah. So
Hmm.
she gets a lot of shit as well because like she's a
She,
black woman played.
yeah, she deserved more time too.
Yes. And I think because we like I'm plus I wanted more of John Hurt, but like unfortunately John Hurt at that time was going
Oh,
through a cancer battle and really couldn't do much.
yeah.
Uh, but I did enjoy that particular era of Doctor Who, like because like the Doctor was becoming much darker, and I wanted that darkness to come
Hmm.
on, but this whole thing has just been I don't know, it's just been I mean seriously I'm going to go into a minute to Shooty's whole thing because when they did Darkness with Shooty, it was great. The guy
The
obviously
couple
has
times
acting
he
chops.
got to do that was
There's
good.
Yeah,
and that's
it's just
something that it's always under the
sorry.
surface with the Doctor, that it's always there.
Yeah,
The waters of Mars, the Time Lord Victorious. 11 was
Dalek,
great at being dark. Oh,
Dalek. Dalek is probably
yeah.
one of my favorite Dark
Mm-hmm.
episodes, just because
Yeah.
he goes
Nine.
from being like sympathetic to being playing Hitler over like in
Yeah.
like 5 minutes.
Telling the
It's
Dalek
great.
to just die.
Yeah, that was just amazing. And the
Mm-hmm.
thing is that she didn't get to do any of that. Didn't get to see any of that. I mean, the guy
Shooty
was
yeah, he got to torture someone with holograms.
a little bit, and that was a little bit of it. And the thing is that like
Gaz? Oh no, it's just me. Well, hopefully he's coming back. Oh,
I
there
am
he
here.
is. All right. I
Yeah,
was trying to think of
so,
something that I could carry on with.
no. I mean,
Um,
but I'm going to speak for myself. Right? As a straight guy, I mean, I was thinking that it's RTD writing him as a gay stereotype. I mean, and I'm not being funny with that. I'm asking that question as a straight guy because I
he,
don't know.
I mean, he. So Russell did. He went from David Tennant, and I'm going to just keep gesturing to the three here. Um,
Hmm.
11's down here playing the mop. I love this shirt.
Hmm.
Um, he went from the 10th Doctor not crying, but he was in the rain, so it was like, oh, he's crying, but he's not crying, to making a point that the 15th Doctor was going to cry in every single episode, which sometimes it made sense, sometimes it was being a bit much. That
See,
was not
I
even
don't
on
mind the
point.
Doctor crying if it's earned.
Yeah,
And a lot of time,
if it's
a lot of time it wasn't.
reasonable.
And
Yeah.
I thought, right, is this a and I don't mean this crudely. I mean, is this some sort of like gay stereotype that I'm aware of? Like,
I think they're just trying to
I'm
make
sorry, I
15 very emotional, very bubbly. So working in that darkness, working in the, or well, finding an ep. Uh, there's only been like one episode where he hasn't cried, which I mean, it's that's not even the biggest problem of the whole seasons with him. With
no.
for him, I
I
should
mean,
say, not with him.
see, I don't mind
For
him having romances. I don't mind him having gay romances.
mm,
Again, like
it's
there's a
another
couple of things
wasted
that I'm
thing,
yeah, like the whole thing with Rogue, like him and Jonathan Groff have amazing chemistry. It's like we want more of
and
that.
Rogue got a 5 minute cameo in episode 7, and that was that. That was left on the floor. Susan, that I think is the biggest
Unresolved.
disappointment,
Yes.
unresolved thing, that they brought Carol Ann Ford in to do some cameos of the Doctor stopping himself from torturing this person because he's thinking
Yes.
of her. He's thinking of his granddaughter. And then we go to the finale where it's the whole thing with the Doctor's daughter with Belinda that they didn't really resolve in a way that made complete sense.
It did make any
Um,
sense
and
because I think that sorry, you
no,
carry
I
on.
just they didn't resolve that in a way
Because
that
like
made sense.
I'm sorry, him going, we can't have children. Well, how in the name of hell did you have a granddaughter then? You're like it doesn't make sense. I
They
mean,
still
like
have some family structure on Gallifrey before it was thrown in the
destroyed.
trash. In the end of time, the one uh, time lady that votes against and is covering her eyes, that was implied that that was his mother. Like they still had some family structure. So the way it's just
Silly.
it's poorly conceived, the way they tried to navigate that whole, we're switching it from being just a regular season finale to it being a regeneration story. Like I understand that had to be complicated, that had to have a lot of challenges to rewrite all of that, but it just what we ended up with on screen did not make sense.
No, he gave Poppy back to Belinda, and then should we talk about regeneration? I'm just going to go a little teensy bit better on. So we got so we so he uses his lightning powers, and
His,
literally yeah, it's like suddenly turned into the Emperor from bloody Star Wars, and
yeah,
like and then like he starts to regenerate. I don't know why he regenerated. Why using lightning? We've seen we've seen the Doctor use like supernatural powers before, so he's never caused him regenerate. I don't know why this did. I think it's just because we need to shoot it to regenerate. It's not like maybe like the Master
hmm
shoots him, the Vanny shoots
yeah.
him,
The
a bad guy kills him, and maybe that causes him to regenerate. That would make too much sense.
yeah,
No, we have to have this crap.
11
And
conjured up some regeneration energy to fix River's wrist. I mean,
yes,
that has its own problems, but again, it's not even the worst part of the finale.
and then he starts to regenerate, and he regenerates into Billy Bloody Piper. Now,
And again,
no.
that should be what we're talking about. That should be the main topic. But the rest of the reshoot, the last 20 minutes was so bad that's what's taken up our focus. I still
Yes,
don't know
so
even how
so
I feel about that since she wasn't introduced as the Doctor.
no, is it,
So I
yeah,
don't even know.
introducing Billy Piper, and it looks like okay. So first of all,
As nothing.
does that mean that the Doctor now can regenerate into one of his companions? Yeah, she looks a bit different than she did when she first died. But that's what you're gonna get when you start
Yeah.
off as a 20-odd-year-old flaming woman, and now you're a flaming 40-year-old.
hmm
It's
Yeah.
it's just what
And
is gonna happen. But even so, what in the bloody hell? I mean, and then look, it's not that I'm against females. I'm not being a doctor, or I'm against Billy Piper. I'm not. It's just like she should be Rose. She should be bloody the doctor. Sorry. Sorry.
it, I don't understand what the point of he could have left it as a question mark, a mystery,
Yes.
but throwing Rose and throwing Billy Piper in there. I'm not against her being the Doctor. I'm not against her coming back to Doctor Who. She's been Bad Wolf. She's been the Moment. Um, she can absolutely come back.
Mhm.
Overshadowing Ncuti Gatwa, where his regeneration into the 15th Doctor was overshadowed by David, and they make fun of that when 13 pops up, and I thought that was a nice touch. And
Yes.
then his exit to the show is also overshadowed by a former companion of the 10th Doctor. Like, let him have his own. I don't know. Could
Maybe,
Billy be a great
maybe,
doctor as 16? Absolutely. Does it make
but
sense that
part of me thinks that they didn't have a replacement set, so
yeah,
they
and
didn't
and
get.
that maybe that face is just there and then it's going to shift again when they maybe bring Doctor Who back sometime.
I
They
don't,
claim that it's coming
because
back with or without Disney, but
I
um
don't know with the ratings recently, because in Britain the Doctor Who this season has had like the lowest ratings it's ever had, and that even lower than when it cancelled the first time.
yeah.
So like, I mean, like, so I don't know if it's coming back. I mean, to I mean, like, it could be that like, because like TV in general is going downhill, so like it could be that is an element that unfortunately factors in. But even with that, like, I mean, there's shows that outperform it. Like it used to be just the news and other like, I think there's another program. I think it was like EastEnders that outperformed it. Now
Hmm,
a lot of shows are outperforming it, and
yeah.
it's like,
Well,
and
and
it's
I mean, it's been on for 18 years straight now.
yes,
Like maybe it does need a bit of a break, whether that's a long pause or a short pause. I don't think it's going to go back and be turned off like after the 7th Doctor and just take a long hiatus. but maybe it's time to let it go for a couple years and let other new people come into it because I mean with Russell coming back for the 60th, I think was fine, was good. 60th was pretty good. With Shooty and the 15th Doctor, a lot of wasted potential. With 15, with the companions, with the villains, a lot of wasted potential. The 15th Doctor is the only Doctor of all the numbered Doctors. I saw a meme of this, a graphic of it, that hasn't faced either the Master, the Cybermen, or the Daleks.
Nope.
All of the other numbered Doctors have faced at least one of them.
He's just been facing the gods, and that's it.
Which
I
that
mean,
could have been fine. That could have been a
yeah.
good direction, but I don't think it was done well enough. So if it does come back, I think it does need to have maybe someone who's not a lifelong Doctor Who fan, someone who can bring in some new ideas. Um,
Well,
you know,
I think you need somebody who's a fan, but has their own ideas, in my opinion,
hmm
because like the thing is otherwise I'll write stuff that doesn't really fit in. Um, me.
yeah,
So okay, I'm going to ask you this question. I'll give my own opinion first, but then I want yours. What do you think of
mm,
Shooty's run? I'm not going to say it's an all-time bad one. I would say it's kind of
no,
average. I mean, because even the worst Doctor Who's, I don't think it was the actor's fault. Like Colin Baker gets a lot of shit, but it wasn't his fault. It was just a bad writer at the time. Um, I mean, I bet Colin Baker, so he's okay in my book. So so take that with a pinch of salt. But I don't think he was bad. I just think his run was just badly written and stuff like that. And I think Sylvester McCoy had a lot of the same problems as well. I think that I think he would probably be the fourth worst if I was to like just the
mm,
writing and everything else. I mean, Jodie Whittaker gets a lot of stuff, but her one was better than this. Um, uh, I I just think that they need new writers. I think they need new
hmm
blood. I think going back to Russell T Davies. I mean, I like Russell T Davies. Don't get me wrong, but I think that his time with Doctor Who was finished. I think he should have just moved on
yeah,
to doing like It's a Sin and stuff that he was doing before, because obviously he'd left it behind for a reason. That's because like he'd been tapped out, and this showed me. Well, this season alone showed me that he's tapped out. I mean, I mean, for example, there's some really good episodes in both
yeah.
season enough that I can say, all right. For example, I loved what's the word? I loved the one where it was a Millie only episode where she lived her own life and like
Oh, the
and I loved
73 yards. Yeah,
yeah.
that
That
was
was
a
a
good
mint
one.
episode.
hmm
I enjoyed that.
hmm
I enjoyed shit. I enjoyed the well. I enjoyed um looks. I enjoyed the final two episodes of last season. The
hmm
far superior to this
Even
one because like
the episode 6, the Interstellar Song Contest, that was a good episode too.
I agree with that.
The ones that Moffat contributed were good. The two seasons of Shooty Gatwa had good elements to them. Um, I had to look up just to see because we're talking about um, different. The way that we're receiving these shows now is has changed quite a bit.
Agreed.
We're at two. A season now is 8 episodes, 45 minutes. When what, the ninth Doctor had 13 episodes.
Yes.
Um, so I Google gave a quick answer here of the ninth Doctor had 571 minutes on screen, and the 15th Doctor had 874 minutes on screen.
Right.
It's he didn't have that much more screen time than the ninth Doctor, who
No.
only had one season. So, uh, how did you word the question again?
Where would you rank Shooty's? How would
It's
you rank
yeah,
his tenure as the Doctor? And because, as I said, for me personally, he's not an
it's
all-time bad.
hard to rank him without having three full seasons like 10, 11, and 12 had, and 13. Like having just two seasons plus a bit of time on the last special of the 60th, and what we had two Christmas specials that were
Yes.
they were okay. They weren't they weren't the best, but um, I know it's hard to rank. That's why I wanted to see how much the time difference was here. Um,
Okay, but I'd be like, if you were to rank them, so I mean, because there are other
yeah.
people, there are other Doctors that had just as I don't think had many seasons. Like I know Peter Davison and Patrick Troughton
Oh,
didn't really do that many
the
seasons.
fourth Doctor had 4,300 minutes on screen.
Yeah, that's
Like
okay.
this
That's
is
what.
yeah. He was the longest, of course.
No,
Um,
but but I don't mean by time, but I mean like
it's
goodness. Like
I
for example, like I would put like Tom Baker and John Pertwee are the best, and then it goes like for me it goes like Tennant, Fleming,
yeah.
Eccleston. Uh, I think
I
Peter
don't know.
Capaldi is
I
probably
kind of
top.
have to class or I don't know rank them separately as far as like the classic versus the new.
Classic.
12 is always going to be my favorite. I mean, Sonic sunglasses right here. So, but no, I think Shooty had some good moments. Hopefully, there's room for him to come back in the future. You know, maybe they can
I don't think he will.
course correct some of these things in a later season,
If you want my
which is
opinion,
kind of what we were
I don't think
hoping
he's coming back.
with Russell, though. What's that?
Yeah, I said in my opinion, I don't think he's coming back. Because I mean, would you come back to
Yeah,
somewhere
I
where
don't think
people
he.
you racist shit?
Yeah,
I'd hope he does because like there's as far as
I
like me
feel
for
like
you, when you get to,
it's just going to be marked with missed opportunity, and I don't know. I put him in the same kind of category as 9 and 13 though, where I'm still more blaming the writing and the showrunner versus the actor themselves. I have not been disappointed with any of the actors. With Shooty, with Jodie, with Christopher Eccleston. Um, I think they've all deserved better. So
and when they do the audio stuff, they're really good. So because their
mhm.
work on the audio stuff and the Big Finish stuff is really good. Um, I mean,
Yeah, I
to be
hope
honest, with you, like I mean,
that he
like
still gets to do a lot of that that Shooty does.
yeah, it probably will. To be honest, with you, like I mean, like, I hope that he keeps in. Again, there's what I think is going to happen. There is what I want to happen. There's what I want to happen is that he comes in to save some of these things because again I want Susan to be in it. It's like Susan Foreman's like 70 odd. Like how much longer is she going to be about?
That,
You need to use it
like
while
I
you
said, that's the biggest disappointment because they've teased it, they've talked about it, they've hinted at her for 18 years
yes
with New Who here, and they got her into the studio
yes
and actually brought her back on screen.
yes
And if that's as far as it gets to go, that's going to be really disappointing. I hope
agreed.
that that she stays well and healthy and is able to come back on screen whenever there's a new season and you know address that because she's still out there as a time lady, and it's a, a storyline that has potential but is gonna not gonna be around forever.
No,
So
yeah, and the thing is that agree with what you said before, that I think Doctor Who needs to take a break. I do agree with you, because they've been going on for 18 seasons, and consecutively, they've not really had a break. I mean, I think they should just do Christmas specials if they're going to do anything.
Yeah,
And just
they could.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would probably be, if I was to do it, which I'm not obviously, but if I was to do it, just do Christmas specials, so you keep the IP in people's minds, you keep it fresh,
Hmm.
and also bring in new writers, bring in fresh blood that knows the show, but isn't too precious about it. Isn't going, oh, it has to be like this. It's like, no, no, no.
Yeah.
You bring your ideas to it and make it something that would fit in.
Yeah.
Like as much as people give shit to Stephen Moffat, he brought in Weeping Angels. You know, they seem like they
Hmm.
should always have been a Doctor Hill villain. Like he brought in the idea,
Yeah.
you know, and
He had the River
I
Song
mean,
story arc. Like,
yes, yeah, the Vashon and Narada. I mean, like we've only seen those in one
mm,
buddy stories. Bring those back. I mean, that's a terrifying idea. Something that you can't find. Something that literally will eat
hmm,
you in seconds,
yeah.
and will flame as soon as it does, will flame puppeteer your flaming skeleton. That's a
That's
terrifying
why the
idea.
Well was so good. It's because it's a villain that the Doctor can't defeat.
No,
Just had to
like
cut
like
their losses and leave.
yeah, and that's what I loved about the Vast Reality. Is like he says, like here's how you beat this the Daleks. Here's how you beat the Solarians. With the Vast Reality, you just run. I was like,
Run.
I've never seen him say that before. I mean,
Hmm.
that shows you that. I mean, like, because he's had to fight vampires, he's had to fight basically the devil, and this is the one thing
Satan.
he can. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Hold
I
on,
mean,
hold on, guys. We can't forget about what was the one from the 10th Doctor's time that had the faces popping out of its belly that looked like fat bastard.
oh, the Observer. Oh God.
The
I mean,
Doctor's
you
fought
don't
all
even know what.
kinds of villains.
Yes. Oh goodness me. But like, I mean, exactly. Like you can have like the more ridiculous stories, so you can redeem them.
It,
You can have them be better written. Like, I mean, like, I never thought I'd see the Cybermen all again, but when they came along, and it was a brilliant idea. Like it happened on an alternative Earth where flaming people got flaming too greedy and
oh
thought
yeah,
they could live forever. That was great.
yeah.
I mean, as I said, I
Oh,
loved that.
the Cyberman story we saw with 12 with the Mundasian Cybermen.
Yes,
Instead of going
that's great.
forward with their evolution, we go way back. That was great. I this was supposed to be a jumping on point for people. Watch the
Yes,
60th anniversary special. Jump on with the 15th Doctor. It's a good starting point. You don't have to go back to the Ninth Doctor or to the First Doctor to start. Start here with 15, and I think they lost sight of that. And
yeah,
the fact that
yeah,
they filmed these two seasons back to back like that, and it didn't allow them to get the feedback of what worked, what didn't work, to go into season two, and then
yes,
maybe go into season three. It's just they filmed it all at once, and when season one didn't do as well as they had hoped, they didn't greenlight season three right away, and then the actors not wanting to stick around and find out if they're
yeah.
going to have a
Well,
job with season
yeah,
three. I get it.
Billy and Shooty are just going to go on to have bloody Hollywood careers now, so that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, yeah, they're going to move on to
And
bigger
to
and
be
better
honest with you, I don't
things.
blame them. They're
Yeah.
going to go do bigger and better things. I'm good on them. Maybe that's what Fabian Matt Smith did. That's what Fabian Teddy Tennant did. That's what a lot of the actors don't do. They
Hmm.
use it as a platform to go and propel them to do bigger things.
Yeah.
And like the whole point of this whole thing is that it's like sign on your actors to do more than 2, 3, or 4 seasons. Don't send them on for two, because it doesn't
Yeah.
let us get invested in them as characters. Like, I mean, I know we're not going to get a flaming Tom Baker who did it for 7 years, but flaming like get somebody to at least do it for 4 or 5,
Yeah.
just so we can understand, so we can get to progress with them as a character.
And
Get get.
Like
Yeah,
with
well reacted to it, don't necessarily.
well, I'm just thinking of the switch after the 10th Doctor with 11, new showrunner, new Doctor, young Doctor, sort of a jumping on point for a lot of people. Also,
Yes.
um, Steven tried not to go back and reference a lot of the earlier stuff. Like he had, I think, a hologram of Donna and in the TARDIS when the Doctor was dying, and he kind of waved it away real quick. Um, I think the familiar faces need to be given a rest to some degree. Except for maybe Unit. Unit works. The whole thing with Unit makes sense with Kate. That was a great piece of this finale. Um, the whole Unit crew I think worked well. Um, so maybe Billy is not a great choice for the 16th Doctor. Of course, if we're just doing some specials and then let whatever happens happen, sure, bring in Billy for some specials. I don't know. I feel like
I
needs
mean,
new
is
blood,
going to be
new.
here for the long haul? I don't know. I mean, like,
Yeah,
I mean,
is
like,
she going to be around for 3 seasons,
I
or
don't
are we
know.
going to get another at 2 seasons that are average and then cut it off at the second season and not go for three?
Well, I mean, as I said, like this particular season is probably like pissed off a lot of people, and there's also like I don't know if you know who Mr. TARDIS is, but he's done a review of this,
Mhm.
and like his views were not great. He said like
Mhm.
that this was just a shit season and stuff like that, and like this ruined it, and he's right. It's like this, as I said, this. I don't get why Blue Piper's here. They should have. I agree with what you just said that he should have just put with him regenerated, and that should have just been Yellow to be continued, and we find out who's going to be the new Doctor. Done.
Yeah.
You, I know that they probably can't get shooting get one, but you can just have him in the yellow light, and then you can have the face come in with a new one. If I was to cast Doctor Who would I cast? I'd cast someone with charisma. I don't know. There's loads of people. But get someone who do it for at least 3 seasons. You know, who needs it to
Hmm.
complement their career, who doesn't already have a thing
And
Hollywood career.
sign it that way so that it's agreed to 3 seasons, not
Yes.
that's what I don't understand is how we got to this point to begin with, that it's 2 seasons that were average, some good, some bad. Um, if they, I don't know. I guess it's more
Uh,
complicated
I
than what I
thought we'll repeat
understand,
ourselves
but
there. So, all right. Out of 10, what would you give season 2 of Doctor Who?
the whole season, because of the ending, it's I don't know if I can rate it at all. If I'm gonna rate the season because of the failure of the ending, it's I'm down to like a 3 or a 4
Three
because
or
of how
four?
poorly
Okay.
they handled the Ronnie and Omega and Susan and the regeneration. Yeah, 3.
I would do. It's a 3. Um, I think that I think RTD needs to give it up, give the reins to somebody who can do fresh ideas, and he can just go on and do. Yeah, because like he did. It said
Yeah,
that just put a buddy BAFTA. I'm thinking like he can go and do stuff like that. He doesn't need Doctor Who anymore, and Doctor Who doesn't need him anymore. So I think he should
yeah.
just. I understand that he thought he was in trouble. It wasn't, and the fact is, it's in trouble now.
Right.
So
Speaking or yeah, what's your rating then out of 10?
I'll give it I'll give it 3. I'll
3.
give it 3 as well.
And I
Just
feel
because
I
I think it's just the ending, to be honest with you. Like as I said, like I agree with you that
yeah.
like there's some really good episodes. Like I mean, I like lots more than I should do. I like the creativity. I loved. I
Hmm.
said the some episodes, just some of the like, just the message over the story just bugged me. Like the flaming, the first episode really annoyed me. On just on a personal thing, it's like play it on the incels
The
really.
first season, or all of this season, the Robot Revolution.
Yeah,
Um, I enjoyed that where we had the incel bro of the villain.
yeah.
I thought that was it,
Oh,
but they
yeah,
did
yeah.
it twice.
It's,
They did it
but
twice in this
it
season.
turned into bloody Skynet.
What's it? Oh yeah, Skynet. Um,
And then we had it again with bloody Millie's boyfriend. It's like, oh, good.
yeah,
It's like not all straight blokes are like you know. It's like some of us are actually decent human beings. Fuck's sake. I mean, like I know shoot is gay, but even now like going. I feel like kind of it's that the two straight blokes are playing. One turns out to be a psychopath and one turns
yeah.
out to be a sociopath. It's like cheers, mate. It's like. But saying that though, and yeah, I think that they need to focus on the storytelling, bring back some classic villains, bring back the Daleks, the Terrans, whoever,
Yeah,
and tell more stories with
like
them. You know, you can
I
tell
under,
some creative stuff.
I saw where Russell was coming from when 15 took over, saying, "Oh, let's give the Cybermen and the Daleks a break." Okay, but still could have had one of them throughout
Soltarians.
two seasons. They disappear for two seasons.
You could have had the Soltarians back. That they've not really been used. You could use them. Or I
Well,
mean,
it was the three of them. It was the Centaurans, the Daleks, and the Cybermen that all appear in Flux at the end of 13
yeah.
that we took a break from. But I don't know. Choices were made this run of Who, and I think
Dude,
the best way to cope with those choices is to look at a few memes.
yes. Let's look at the memes.
Oh, let's see. How do I?
We have the coloring music. Do.
If I can share, select window.
Should be able to.
Nope, that's not the right screen. There we go. Ronnie, I'm going to bring back Omega in order to create new Gallifrey and reestablish the Time Lords. I'm so hungry. Uh, what else we got? Look at how they massacred my boy.
Oh,
Why do we have two finales in a row of massive, oversized CGI
see, yeah,
villains?
yeah.
Sutek was well, okay. We could have given him pass for one, but now two,
Two.
no. This one maybe isn't fair because we should be okay with Doctor Doom, but I don't know.
I'm okay with
What
Bills.
else? Corporate needs you to identify the difference between these two pictures. They're the same.
Yeah.
I brought back a classic villain, real or CGI slop. CGI slop. Look at see two in a row.
Yeah. And you
Two
said
two
before,
finales in a row.
like Sutek makes sense because he's a flaming, he's a flaming, what's the word of it? Osirian.
The god of
It's supposed
death.
to be,
Yeah.
yeah, he's supposed to be imposing. But Omega, it's literally a guy
Yeah.
to say,
Sutek was fine. Omega
the,
was a waste of
why?
and garbage. The Ronnie trying to rip the Ronnie's trying to rip open the fabric of existence. The 14th Doctor.
Sleep.
That's the other part. The I'm glad that at least with Billy in the regeneration that we're done with the bi-generation.
Yes.
It was fine that the Ronnie did it. It was fine that 14 and 15 did it. But this exact meme is why, because anything that happened during the 15th Doctor's run, 14th just
I was to say
having
that
dinner with the nobles.
I was going to
What's
say,
that?
like, that was something I was worried about, is that when he was regenerated, he was going to bi-generate again. I was concerned about
That's
that,
not,
just
I
because,
like he should have. I feel like 14 should have had some kind of appearance back
no,
with the
no,
bi
I'm talking
generation,
15. I
but
thought
let's just
15
be
was
done
going to,
with bi generation.
I thought 15 was he's going to want to be with Blood, the kid and shit. I thought that was going to happen.
Here's a good one for you. This is the worst episode you've ever made. You say that so much it's lost all meaning.
Oh, goodness me.
The Ronnie, I feel bad for you. Mel, I don't think about you at all. That was a good interaction. I like that they keep bringing Mel back also.
I do as well. Good to see Buddy
Yeah.
Langford in this.
Yeah. Where are we at? I think I have a few more. Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
So,
Oh,
yes.
Chris. I think that's
Chris,
the biggest lesson here is that it can always get worse.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The
Well, that's it. That must be the last of them.
last of the beans.
I think so. I might
Goodness
have
me.
a few more, but
Oh, I just, as I said, it's just been so disappointing and just
yeah,
and like as I said, I don't think it'll go down as the worst Doctor Who episode ever. That they're worse
probably.
I can think of.
But well,
Well,
as far as a finale, as far as worst episode, no. We just talked about the villain from the 10th Doctor's time with the faces in its belly. That's always going to be the worst. As far as a season finale, nothing. Well, again, it can always get worse, but
yes,
so far, this is they were setting up so much good stuff. They were setting up to just fall flat on the face like that. No, this is the worst so far.
yes.
Again, it's not
Uh,
the actor's fault. I'm blaming Russell. I'm blaming the writing.
I agree with you.
I feel like
It's a right
this is the feeling of liking a sports team that does poorly, like our Cleveland Browns here in America, um, being a bad football team. Like
I know.
I know what it feels.
Unfortunately, I'm an NFL fan, so I know exactly how well the Cleveland Browns did. But yeah, this was quite bad. As I said, that
Yeah,
I wouldn't say, as I said, it's not the worst episode ever. It's just it's in that conversation, unfortunately,
it is in that
and it's
conversation, and yeah.
yeah. Uh, have you got anything else to say before we wrap up?
No, that's it.
Yeah, I think
Let's leave
I
Doctor
think we've
Who
vetted.
behind for now.
Yeah, I think we've
Give the old girl a
vetted
break.
everything. Yeah, yeah. So everybody, tell me what you thought of this season, the last episode. Are we being too harsh, maybe, or do you think we're not being harsh enough? Let me know what you think. And also, this is Nerd the greatest channel you might have sort of heard of for now. Take care.